When I first came to Spaulding, I was on the board of Spaulding Youth Center, and one thing led to another, and it was decided, I think, by all parties that we should build a new school, which led to the initiation of a capital campaign.
We decided to do strategic planning. It's been a while since the board had gone through strategic planning, and we had some turnover in the board. And so I told Jim, I said, I think we should do it on campus. And I think what we should do is get the board members out of the boardroom and into the classroom. And that's what we did. We had 2 days of strategic planning. The first day we set up in groups of 3 or 4, and we went into the classroom. And we went into all of the residences. We went everywhere. I will tell you that was, again, I've been here 17 years, that was the pivotal part of this organization as long as I've been here, because it was after that day where people got very emotional, actually seeing what these kids are up against and how talented and dedicated the staff was. It changed them completely. It changed the board completely, because it was too easy at that time to fly in for a meeting and fly out without really meeting staff. We met in the cafeteria where Jim and I proposed building a new school. It started on a rainy Saturday morning when Jim said, we can do this. We need to do this, and we can do this. And we did. And that was the pivotal moment since I've been here, because that school transformed this organization, put us on the map, and it's allowed us to have the ability to have success with more and more children.
I think there's many things that makes Spaulding unique, but for me, in all those years, it was getting a school. And it was an ask. It was an expensive venture. And every single person, I think, all the staff, all of us from the CEOs down, we all knew that this school was going to make this huge difference.
There had been an initial pass at starting to look at building a new school. We all knew that the current school building was inadequate. As we started to do planning studies, which included a fundraising feasibility study, studies of the grounds, and we also looked at the need. And so we looked at a lot of data in terms of the need for services for kids who had special needs, and that a lot of school districts were not able to meet those needs. And there was a growing need at that point for day school students.
We were at a board retreat. Jim Clements was on the board at the time. Susan Caligari was acting CEO. And at the board retreat, Susan threw out this random thought: we need to build a school. These kids can't go to school here anymore. These kids with autism and these kids that are on the spectrum can't learn. And I'm thinking to myself, she's right. Because when I walk in there, I can't think straight either. There's lights, there's loud. It's going to be so hard for a child that's struggling. She said, it's going to be our job to build a school. We need to raise over $3 million to build this school. And we all looked at each other and said, what? Where are we going to get that kind of money? And she said, we can do it. And she was the driving force that gave us all inspiration. She was very methodical about it, and we all believed in her dream.
The school that the students were in prior to the building of the new school was very small quarters. The walls were just partition walls between classrooms. So there was a lot going on, there was a lot of noise, there was a lot of movement, and it could be very distracting at times. I was always amazed at what a great job the teachers and the aides did within all of that, with all the noise and all of the distractions that went on. They did such great work with the kids, and they didn't really have a lot of space. That, I think, probably was the key thing that I felt was so critical for the school, was that the classrooms were very individual and very separate.
What makes Spaulding unique is that it has managed to adapt over the years. And it has grown, it has improved its services, it has done so much, whereas any number of similar organizations seem to have fallen by the wayside. The the inability to adapt, the inability to realize that the needs have changed over a period of time. That more education, more knowledge of the problems that people have led to changes in how the organization functions. And it has been, I think, critically important that those changes have been recognized here, and that the organization has continued to develop, to improve, to expand its range of services. These things are all important. And I think that we have succeeded here at Spaulding, or that Spaulding has succeeded more than many other organizations in providing expanded, improved, more diversified services.
The Spaulding we are today, I'm incredibly proud of how every child is involved in activities, how every child receives a quality education in our school. And now looking at the opportunities our students have in our new, state-of-the-art school, it's incredible because we have new technology. We have classrooms with bathrooms in them, as small as that might sound. We have learning environments that are conducive to learning. They have ceilings, there's not as much noise. We have sensory tools built into the classrooms. You can prevent a lot of maladaptive behaviors or crisis-like behaviors. And just by building this new school and creating this warm, nurturing setting, from the moment the kids walk through the front door, they're in a place, where that breeds learning, that breeds creativity, that breeds growth. And we're lucky to have, such an amazing school.